Hey guys, welcome back. Today, as promised, we're going to be doing a deep dive into the Trickster relic. A few things to sort of cover here is that we're going to be working off the fact that this is your tier 1 relic, so you're going to be starting with the 5 times multiplier. We're not really going to go too much higher than that. I will put a few key examples for the later regions that you might want to unlock, but for the most part, these numbers are all at the 5 times. So, with all that said, let's jump into it and let's have a look at what Trickster's really about. Okay, so let's take a look at one of the big power spikes that Trickster provides you in the early game, and that is the thieving aspect to it. You cannot fail actions for thieving, automatically re-pickpocket your target, loot from pickpocketing is doubled and noted, and your coin pouch limit is multiplied by 3, and everything's happening on a 2-tick cycle. So what that basically means is that RuneScape operates on a 60-tick a minute system, and it's going to take us 2 ticks or 1.2 seconds to do a thieving action before we can do our next one, so we can get about 50 actions in a minute. Okay, starting off we're going to be pickpocketing men. These are going to generate us about 2000 XP a minute, and it's going to take us 73 actions to get to level 15, and that'll take us roughly a minute 30 to do. After that, we're going to swing around the back of Lumbridge Castle and go and visit the ham members. Ham members are going to be a great option for us because they're going to generate 5.5k XP a minute. Thieving here for about 6 minutes and 18 seconds is going to get us all the way from 15 up to 40. After that, we can swing over to the Varrock Guards and start pickpocketing those. Notable drops from the ham members, however, are the steel pickaxe, the steel axe, and of course we can pick up a few herbs for those early tasks as well. After we finish up with ham members, we can head over to the Varrock Guards. These are going to be coming in at a whopping 702k XP per hour. Task that we're going to be able to finish here is our 800 GP from coin pouches, and of course pickpocketing a guard. And you're going to be picking up levels quite quickly here. You should be seeing a level in under a minute for the next 12 levels, and it can really give you some time to figure out where we want to go. Moving over to the desert region for Trickster, we can have a look at the Polnavich Bandits. Starting at level 45, these are going to take you about 2 minutes and 6 seconds to get to from guards, and they're going to yield you about 812k experience per hour. These are also going to come in with 240k GP an hour, so we should be coming through those levels pretty quickly and generating a nice amount of profit along the way. At level 55, or 6 minutes and 30 seconds from starting the level 45 bandits, we'll be able to hit the level 55 bandits. These are going to give us 1.2 million XP an hour and generate us a profit of 300k XP an hour. But we won't be there for long, because 13 minutes and 40 seconds later, we'll be over to their Menophyte Thugs. These are ridiculous. At level 65, these are going to give us a 1.7 million experience an hour and give us a profit of 360k GP per hour. If you were to stay here in the desert region and this was your only unlock, you would be able to get 99 thieving in 7 hours and 22 minutes. However, this is not the best area, so moving forward we will go over to Kandarin. Kandarin is an absolutely massive area for the Trickster relic, and it's not just because of the thieving. You also have things like red chins in the area and a bunch of really great trees to level up your fire making if you didn't necessarily want to go to Zaya. However, back to the thieving, when you're arriving in Kandarin, you'll make your way over to the Arty Knights at level 55, and you'll be earning yourself 1.2 million experience off the bat. It should have taken you about 10 minutes roughly from your Varrock Guard to get here, and you'll be profiting 300k GP an hour. 13 minutes and 30 seconds from our Arty Knights, we're moving over to the Yanilian Watchmen. These come in at a whopping 2 million experience per hour, and that is 360k GP. And we won't be here for long because 8 minutes and 30 seconds later, we can move on from the Watchmen back over to Ardoin and do the Paladins. Paladins are 2.2 million experience an hour and have an acceptable bar drop rate with mithril and steel bars every 2.5 minutes. They also have some bonus herbs that go up to Dwarfweed, but you're probably not going to see them as they are quite rare. Not long after starting Paladins, we're going to move over to the Heroes in Ardoin at level 80. These are absolutely insane. I cannot begin to explain how crazy these thieving tasks are, because you're going to be sitting at 4 million experience per hour. And it has a great amount of auxiliary drops, which gets utilized really well by Trickster as it notes all of our drops. You'll be generating 1.2 million GP an hour, 720 death runes, 320 blood runes, 80 fire orbs, and 40 diamonds and gold ore per hour. If you were to stay here, it would take you 2 hours and 36 minutes to max. However, from starting at level 1 and working your way through to this route, it's going to take you 3 hours and 50 minutes to max on the first day, which is crazy. Also, shout out to Gnomes in Kandarin. They will give you about 3 million experience an hour, but they're not really worth it with the heroes drop table being so cracked, so probably just avoid those if you can. Heroes are pretty great. Moving on from Kandarin and into Mauritania, we're going to need to spend about 3 hours and 15 minutes at our guards to get to level 82 to unlock Vyres. Vyres come in at 4.6 million XP an hour and 1.4 million GP an hour. At the beginning, you're going to be generating 2 blood shards every hour and 40 minutes. However, that's going to drop to 2 blood shards every 20 minutes with the higher drop rate multipliers down the road. So you're really not going to have any problems keeping up those charges on your Blood Fury. So just feel free to spend those. I really think this is quite powerful for a melee relic, so that can't be understated if that's the way you're thinking. In addition, we're going to be receiving 240 uncut rubies an hour, 260 death runes, 360 blood runes, and 46 diamonds. So that's going to keep us really stocked up on crafting supplies and some runes for later. These are just nice auxiliary drops that Trickster's going to note for us as well. Moving forward from Mauritania, however, we go to Tiruin. Tiruin unlocks elves at level 85. It's going to take us a little longer, about 3 hours and 20 minutes to 3 hours and 30 to unlock elves. And once we get there, though, it's going to be well worth the reward. Elves come in at 5.3 million XP an hour, and they're going to generate us 2 million GP an hour. Also, in addition to their XP and their money, we're going to get 750 death runes an hour, 280 jugs of wine, 700 nature runes, 94 fire orbs, and 46 diamonds and gold ore. Now for the area drops, we're also going to be picking up 172 crystal shards an hour, and we're going to start at getting 6 enhanced crystal teleport seeds per hour, and that's going to move to 29 an hour at the 5 times drop rate. So you're not going to need to do a lot of gauntlet if you are going for that corrupted weaponry, and it's just going to be pretty fast overall. It should take you about 2 hours to max from once you're unlocking elves, so it's definitely a very viable route if that's the sort of path you're looking at. I am going to put an honourable shout out to Fremnik. Now the Fremnik citizens do only net you 800-ish K an hour in terms of XP and 4K GP a minute. However, it does auto-complete a few quests which unlock Dorgish Khan chests for you, and they can get you drops of 3,250 as well as some just nice stuff, but the chest drop rate isn't increased, so they do still have quite a long time, so you're not really benefiting too much from it. Also, if you go over to Asgarnia, you can pick up some ice gloves. That'll allow you to thieve things in Morkel Wreck. These guys will generate you 1.5 million XP an hour, and I reckon you'll probably get around 1,900 to 2,000 Tockel an hour. The drop rates on these things aren't really confirmed on the wiki, so I had to do a bit of guesstimation on that one, so don't take my word for it. However, this big fella did like and subscribe, so I had to give him a shout out. Staying with the heat, we're going to be moving out of Karamja and onto Firemake. The Trickster Relic has a bonus of igniting 9 logs at once all around you. However, we need to take into account the chopping the trees. Now, calculating the fire making experience while also taking into consideration the time it takes to chop logs using a steel axe and leveling up at the same time was quite difficult. However, I noticed on the first one that you're going to get about 200 KXP an hour on normal logs. If you're going to be doing this, you're going to notice that you're going to get the winter tot in about 30 minutes. If you're going to utilize oaks, you probably see that chop down to about 22. But after that, you're going to find that your XP will cap out at teaks at 1.3 million experience an hour, assuming that you are 2 ticking. Past this point, it's the cutting that's going to let you down, with used being 600k and magic being 400. So probably if you're going for a non-winter tot route, it's going to be worth sticking to those teak trees, and you can access those on your starter island on Isle of Souls. There are 2 birds that are utilized, so feel free to do that. If you are, however, going to pick Zaya and go to Winter Tot, the XP per hour does get a little crazy. Coming in at level 50, you're going to be generating 1.6 million XP an hour. Level 60, 1.9. Level 70, 1.2. Level 80, 2.4. Level 90, 2.9. And level 99, 3.5. Now, these aren't the quickest experience rates, as you were probably guessing, but that's because of the time it takes to cut the logs. You can be interrupted while cutting the log, so I did have to do a bit of math there, so you might actually find that it is higher as you get more pieces of warm clothing later on, but these experience rates are nothing to be laughed at. You should be able to get the 99 fire making at Winter Tot with about 5 hours of effort. Using teaks, you should take you about 10 to 12. Moving on to Hunter, and we can catch grey chins on the Isle of Souls. Chinchompers are actually quite easy to calculate as your hunting traps can't fail. However, they did mention that you'll be able to catch them faster. So I've calculated these all at 3 ticks per chin, which is something you can achieve at higher levels while killing the chins and placing your box traps. So it works out to 4k chins an hour no matter what you're catching. At grey chins, you're going to be making 4 million hunter experience an hour. At red chins, you're going to be picking up 5.4 million experience an hour. However, you will need to unlock Kandarin or Tiruin to get these. And at black chins in the wilderness, it's 12.6 million experience an hour. So you'll be able to get your hunter up exceedingly quickly in the wilderness. Now, I did have a look at doing Poro Poro since your jars can't break. However, there's too many variables with the jars not breaking. However, other people being in the area and the bushes and the crossing time, it was too hard to do. So if somebody can, if somebody can figure that out for me, that'd be fantastic. However, the math was too far above myself. Finally, moving on to the Sage's Greaves. At level 35, if you're running around, you'll be able to generate 7k XP an hour. Now that's assuming that you are continuously moving so that the relic is proccing. At level 60, you're going to be generating 12.6k an hour, and at level 90, 18k an hour. Now with the increased experience rates, going up to times 16, you're going to be generating 58k an hour at level 90 later on. You will essentially be running Sia's Village Rooftop at all times whilst running around the game, so that is a nice bonus. However, with some of the other XP rates that we have going on, it doesn't feel as nice. Now that does just about wrap it up for the Trickster Relic. I would like to put an honourable shout out to stalls and things like that when you are thieving. They are great experience, however they're not buffed by our no fail chance because you can't fail stalls normally, and their respawn time is exactly the same, so it doesn't quite pick up the great benefits that are there. But those are a great option when you need to get supplies and things like that, which you will have the level for because you have such great thieving experience. This one did take me a long time to do. There was about 4.5 hours of just research and math and adding everything up. And then it took me about 7 hours to edit because everything kept crashing on me. So I guess that's more of my own fault. However, I would like to start putting out more higher quality videos such as this with a bit more editing and a bit more flair to them. So let me know what you think in the comments below. If you think I've missed anything, please let me know. And if you've had a great time, please consider liking and subscribing. I will be streaming Leagues 4 going forward, and I'll obviously be putting out a route. I'm planning on putting out new videos for both the other tier 1 relics. I'm hoping that they'll be a little easier to calculate since there's not so much variability going on in there, so they should be out shortly. If I don't do them, I'm really sorry. Other than that, thank you so much for all the love you guys have been giving me. Have a great day. Stay safe. Bye.